Consider the list: Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. Are they introverts or extroverts? They are all introverts. Now consider the list: Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, Mahatma Gandhi. Are they introverts? Are they extroverts? They are all introverts. What about Bill Clinton, Steve Jobs, Marie Antoinette, Winston Churchill, Narendra Modi, George Bush? Are they introverts? Are they extroverts? You guessed it right. They are complete extroverts. Hello everyone. This episode is all about introverts and extroverts. Who's more successful and why? And whether an introvert can become an extrovert and whether it's even needed. Let's roll. So I had the bestest K-12 years anyone can imagine. I was on top of my class, mentored by excellent teachers and not to miss their favorite. I was surrounded by superb friends. Life was a party. I was outgoing, outspoken, carefree, and everything was great. All the good life factors considered me their chosen one, and I was bubbling with energy. All this made me into an extrovert who had minimal inhibitions, who would dare to venture all that today's calculated world calls risky. I was one whom everyone thought would have an outstanding future ahead. This was me till I was about 14 or 15 years old. And then, what happened? Life happened. I don't mean that my life isn't what I would want it to be, but I'm certainly not one to live with regrets. It's just that it is different. It's different from what I imagined it would be. It's different from what many others imagined it would be. There are certain things which I love about the new me, and yet there are certain things I wish hadn't changed about me. Having said that, the changes are circumstantial evolution and my hunger to learn something new all the time. Let me give you an example. I find it strange that the chirpy, first talk then think Sarika is now the organized talker who's very observant. I'm sort of okay with the fact that from a truckload of friends, now my circle is more meaningful, more petite. I'm cool that from being a girl who loved too much time with people, now I crave for me time. I feel so matured when I see the enthusiastic, bubbly kid become such a patient listener. I hate the fact that the carefree, bindas me is now a calm, reserved, collected person. I hate that I choose to stay silent even when my mind is unnerved because of the volcanic activity of the million of questions that are in my mind that I'm bubbling with. But I'm also proud that the confident me is even more confident now. I wish she displayed less shyness sometimes. I hate that the impulsive let's do it me is now let's analyze first person. I wish I wake up the child in me more frequently, one who would stress less, speak more, stay less calm and burst out more. And the one who would shun wallflower wearing the skin of an introvert and be the hail fellow well met sort of way person more. Having said that, a lot has changed in me from an outgoing social extrovert to a calm, diffident introvert. I love the new me. I narrated my personal story just to answer one question that I get asked very often. And that question is, I'm an introvert. How do I become an extrovert? Or, I am an extrovert. How do I become an introvert and stay a bit more quiet? So for this, we need to understand a bit of science. Now the brains of introverts and extroverts, they are wired differently. So, time for a biology lesson. Our human brains have a layer called the prefrontal cortex. Now, this layer, is thicker in the people who are the serious type, the ones who think deeply and they take time to make decision making. In introverts, this layer is thicker than that in the extroverts. So while the extroverts jump the guns, they react much faster and so many times impulsively. Our introvert cousins, they take much longer to think, evaluate and process information. So that was the prefrontal cortex, an external factor. Now there is something inside the brain which matters. Have you heard of the feel-good, pleasurable hormone called dopamine? Everybody seems to be talking about the dopamine effect. Now when we feel satisfied, our body releases this hormone. Extroverts biologically have many more dopamine receptors in their brain. So, when an extrovert starts to prepare for a people's event, maybe, a party or something, he feels very energized. It gives him a thrill, a kick. On the contrary, our introvert cousins, they start dreading. So, that was the dopamine factor. Also, our brains have a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Introverts crave acetylcholine to feel satisfied. They have many more acetylcholine receptors vis-a-vis their other cousins, that is the extroverts. Dopamine receptors, remember, the extroverts have more, and acetylcholine receptors, the introverts have more. So this is the biological difference, and if you're an introvert or an extrovert, this is biological, this is by birth, this is your personality type. Of course, circumstances change and sometimes wirings in your brain change with it, probably like mine did. There is also another category of personality types who are omniverts. Now, omniverts are people who experience extremes in introversion and extremes in extroversion. Such people are very rare. The most common ones are ambiverts, and they say about 60% of the human population are full of ambiverts. Ambiverts have a dual personality depending on the situation they're in. I guess I'm an ambivert. They can be both good leaders and they can be great followers. Now think about it. Are you an introvert or an extrovert or an ambivert or an omnivert? Think about it. I told you that Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are introverts. I also told you that Bill Clinton, Steve Jobs, Marie Antoinette, Winston Churchill, Narendra Modi, George Bush, the list goes on, all are extroverts. But all these people are successful, right? So the short answer is that you can be successful whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. Being an introvert or an extrovert doesn't make you any less or any more. You don't have to change who you are to be successful to win. I've seen introverts who are more intuitive, who have strong hunches. A world without introverts would mean a world with fewer scientists, fewer musicians, artists, poets, doctors, mathematicians, writers. And likewise, a world without extroverts would mean a world without strong leaders. Research says that when you're really passionate about something, you sometimes need to be an extrovert even if you're an introvert. So everybody, I think, is a bit of mix of both. Now the $1 million question, which I was talking about, can an introvert become an extrovert? My school teacher said this and I quote her. Changing from an extrovert to an introvert or vice versa is like being able to change your blue eyes to green. You could, of course, wear colored contacts, make them look green, but they would still be blue underneath. Once your colored lenses are off, your true color will be revealed. Also, remember that you might hurt your eyes or tire them out if you wear the lenses for too long. That is, you wear the camouflage of the other personality type for too long. That's because it is not the natural you. When you pretend to be someone that you're not, you get tired, you get irritated, you get exhausted. So remember, there's no need to fix your introversion or your extroversion. Rather than seeking solutions or ways to change ourselves, we should just embrace our personality types, focus on these strengths, and stay happy. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening to this episode of Communicate 101 Speaking Writing Tips with Sarika Singh. If you want to be notified of upcoming episodes, be sure to hit the subscribe button and follow the podcast. I'll be back to share more stories, more life experiences, and more communication tips every Friday. If you want to reach me or connect with me, just put your comments in the comment box below or mail me at info@sarikasingh.in. I know you're going to rate and review this podcast, so a big thank you in advance. Stay tuned and think about what we talked today.